Okay. Hello, everyone! Welcome to another Oily Hour on Sunday with me, Pam, and special guest, my husband,
Me!
Chris Martinez!
Me!
Yay! So, if you didn't know, we're broadcasting from HAPS. It's this really awesome platform where we're basically broadcasting to a million different platforms at once. So, whether you're watching on HAPS or YouTube or Facebook or whatever Facebook groups or Periscope, if you still have that, or Twitch or wherever, we're on there, or Twitter. We're everywhere right now. So that is how we're broadcasting and talking to you all live every Sunday at 8 p.m.-ish Pacific time. And if you can see the little bar above my head here, you see that goal there, the little money sign goal? Any and all donations that are coming into this broadcast, which you can donate through the HAPS, only on the HAPS platform. If you do donate, all the proceeds go to Healing Hands. If you haven't heard of Healing Hands before, it's doTERRA's charity initiative, and it helps with anti-human trafficking, disaster relief, clean water and sanitation, global health, empowering women, self-reliance, supporting children. So if you're down with any of those things, then you can donate through this HAPS Live. Hi! Also, as usual, Pam is tuning in from Brazil. Not as usual, just starting last week. She's tuning in from Brazil, so it's really late over there. But it's great to see everybody. Hi, I know Priscilla's been waiting for us to go live. Hi, Willie. I know Bill was waiting too. We're running a little late, but we were live on Instagram for a while. Don't know what happened there.
Hey, we are learning because
We are.
last time, remember, we got this down so good.
We did.
It's my fault. Sorry.
It's
Sorry,
not
everyone.
your fault. We didn't think this through. We're like, let's have a special guest, and then also, technically, logistically, how do we put a third guest on our show? We didn't figure that out.
But then we make it work, so it's perfect.
Yeah, and now we're here.
Well, welcome everybody to our Oily Hour, and it is such an honor and a pleasure to be able to be doing this every week. And I asked Olivia to do this with me because I think I've mentioned this before. For me to get better at speaking on lives, and also for me to grow my audience and speaking to the women and mothers that I know are out there looking for what I have to give them. But then I thought, we talk so much about women, and this is our main demographic. We work with women, but I feel this subject came up so much in the past month about men not being able to express themselves to the extent that women do, especially when it comes to emotions. And that's why I asked Chris to hop on here today. And I speak from a very personal place because my husband, he's incredible. He's amazing. A lot of people call him Superman. But he is, he always feels that he needs to be so strong. So he never wants to look weak by maybe crying in front of me. So I've only seen him cry twice. So you with partners, male partners out there, how many times have you seen your significant other cry? I've known Luke since 2006, guys. So it's not like we just started this, and we've been married for 7 years. So just I feel. How many times have you seen Olivia cry, Chris?
A few times. Quite a few times.
Quite a few. Has she seen you cry as many as you have seen her?
Not even close.
Right? Why is that?
I don't know. I just don't. I don't cry.
Not that much.
Not that much.
I know, but I feel like, where are the men here? You guys can comment on this. Why do you feel like you can't cry? I feel like a lot of the men in my life, and I end up being the one that they speak to, and they're able to kind of let it loose and cry. And Luke hasn't really cried in front of other people, which is so crazy, right? So I'm one of them, and I'm this person for my uncles, some of my cousins, and male cousins, and some of my friends, like male friends, they are able to be vulnerable with me, but they don't feel that they can do this with a lot of other people.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think part of like what society has imposed too, right? We have to look strong all the time for the men. So I feel that crying is a sign of strength. For you to be able to have the courage to be vulnerable, that is strength to me. And I had to change the way I look at things because I've always thought that I had to be strong, right? After my dad passed and I moved to another country and crazy things happened, I felt that I always had to be in survival mode. So I was always very strong. But then I become really hard. I became really hard. Today, you guys know like the nice, sweet, soft mommy Pam. I was tough. I was it's definitely been a transformation. So Anthony says, in the Western culture, it is ingrained into society that men aren't supposed to cry. Men are supposed to man up. I know that's such a bad term. Me, I have two boys, right? I'm a mother of three, one girl, two boys, and I never, ever, ever, ever will use this men up thing. I would never do that to them. So in fact, I do, and you guys, they know Wallace. Wallace is so cute. Very sensitive, right? He's very sensitive. So every single time when he starts crying, I say, buddy, it's okay to cry. Why are you crying? And he's like, I can't tell you. So I just tell him, just cry. And then he hugs me tight and then he loses it. And I think that's pretty cool, you know?
Cute.
I tell him it's okay to cry. So, Olivia, in your culture, more like Asian, right? Well, my dad too, part of my family, Japanese family. They also, I've never seen any of my Japanese family, like the guys, never seen them cry. How about you? Have you seen Ken cry?
Yeah, but it's very rare, right? It's like super rare. I've known him for now 32 years, my whole life. So, it's very rare if or when he does, and or my dad. Definitely the women will be more expressive than the men.
Yeah, so it's not only in Western culture,
Yep.
right? I think society in general.
Hmm.
Um, and we have, so then it comes like culturally though, you have the macho thing. Chris, you can speak to this. The macho thing with the Latinos, right? You have to be a macho, like you have to be strong.
Yeah.
But you know what's interesting that I have noticed is that Brazilians, at least here in my culture, I've seen the circles of friends, like male friends, they're almost like the women in the United States. That's how I compare it to. So today my cousin is getting married on Saturday and he's all emotional. So he came up to the car, he's like, man, I'm losing it. Look at me. I'm crying. And then he started crying. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. I'm getting these glimpses of men in my life that I never seen crying.
Hmm.
And so today this happened right before I was at my mom's house, right before I came here to do this with you guys. And he cried and I was like, this is pretty cool. Him getting married on Saturday is making him very emotional.
Oh.
Yes. So, but I feel like in Brazil, the guys, if you're from Brazil, if you have Brazilian friends, very passionate, but they do cry. Like I see that they do it more than what I've seen in America. So
Wow.
the actor Kevin Sussman talked to Mayim Bielik's breakdown, talked about the importance of sobbing and how to handle anxiety. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yay. So since we're in this topic, Dana Arnold. A lot of grooms I work with at weddings cry. It's amazing. It is, right? So that's because we touch in that realm of love and caring truly for someone else. And I think that's when things start getting real and then they can be vulnerable and then they can be themselves. So that's beautiful. That's why I love when people fall in love because that brings out the best of us. I believe that. So talking about anxiety, Chris, tell me a little bit about. So we have a few men in doTERRA, and for the most part, they are the husbands of the women.
This is true.
Usually.
It is rare that we have a man that starts doTERRA and then the wife follows along. It's the other way around. But Chris, let's talk product first. So I want you to speak to our male audience. What made you start first using the products? What did you get started with, and what was the reaction? How did that happen?
All right, I'll give a quick story of how I really started believing in them, because I was kind of using them in the beginning when Olivia first bought the oils, or she always got oils before doTERRA, but then when she completely switched, I was like, okay, oils, whatever. And then we went to Vegas on a family trip. My family was visiting, and then we were in Vegas. We left the hotel, and as soon as we got on the strip, it was like 8 or 9 in the morning. I was like, my stomach hurts, and I had a knot, and it was painful. It wasn't like it was like a sharp pain almost. It was weird. My stomach was hurting so much. I was like, okay, I think I got to go back to the hotel. Like, just take my family around, because they don't know how to navigate Vegas, and they're all like, la 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 la, crazy, right? Cubans walking around Vegas. Anyways, they Olivia gave me. She was like, here, try this. She gave me, where is it? I know it's around here. Right here. This is my favorite. So she gave me digestion, and my stomach was hurting so much. I was like, can I eat it? That was the first thing I asked her, can I eat it? She said, yeah. And I just grabbed a bunch, and you probably shouldn't do this, but I did it, and I just put it all in my mouth. And I'm not kidding. In probably 30 seconds or a minute, the pain went away. Like, for me to be in pain, to be like, no, I'm gonna have to cancel this day of vacation with my family and go back, like, it was pretty bad. And it made me feel better immediately, instantly. So then that's what got my attention and started like really believing in the oils in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then as I started to use digestion regularly, because I get like I have stomach issues and stuff like that. So whenever my stomach hurts, like for instance today, I actually, just driving over here, I was talking to her on the phone. We ate some seafood this morning, and I was like, I don't have my oils. And I don't know if Nico's in here, but we were just together and went to the Chargers game. Yeah. And I was like, I really got to get home. I need my oil. Yeah. I was telling him about digestion. I told him about the same story. And then, it makes me feel better. So it's, that was my initial story.
Yeah, and everyone has a different oil experience. Like, I do not use digestion on a regular basis at all. It's definitely not one of the oils that I use, but it's one of his staples.
It's my favorite.
So I always have it in my purse. But this time I wasn't at the Chargers game, so
yeah,
he was left alone.
I accidentally just lost all my oils. I was so sad because I was like collecting oils for a while, and I had my pouch. And I don't know if Olivia told you, Pam, but I left it at the airport because we were traveling so much, and I left it, and I've been pretty sad about that because I had a really nice collection. So I didn't have my digestion today, and it sucked.
I feel so sorry for you, because today I feel really bad if I lose oils. I don't feel as bad if I lose money. I'm like, man. No, I left a rose roller in the pocket of the airplane. Like,
no.
Yeah, that was. But somebody was really happy they found it, right?
Yeah. Or not, if they didn't know.
No, that's the fear. Like, if somebody gets in there, like, trash, right? But okay, I'll consider that maybe they made good use of it. Right. So usually this is how it goes, right? So have you guys used doTERRA? Do you guys use doTERRA? This is kind of like how it goes. First, Olivia started telling me that she's like, yeah, I know about essential oils, but not a really big fan because, one time I lost all my hair because of that. Not all, but most of it. Then it's because the quality matters, so it's different. And every single time when I put a drop of oil on people's hands, if I give them something like a beadlet, right? Those cute, have you guys seen these cute little beadlets?
Oh, I love those.
It's like our quarter drop in this little tiny, here, so cute. In Brazil, we call it óvulo, which means little egg.
Ah, cute.
Yeah, so it's a little tiny little egg. Can you guys see that? The right side? No, I'm not.
Well, hi Dana. Dana's husband really loves the peppermint, and it comes in the peppermint too. So
hi Dana.
Dana,
Yeah.
you know what's funny? It's so funny how the world works. I was actually trying to look up Dana on Instagram today to show my cousin because she needs a photographer, and my phone wasn't loading, and now here she is. So I've got to text her. And she needs more peppermint, so I definitely have to text her.
Oh, well, so let's talk about peppermint though.
Yeah.
And here's the beautiful thing about working in the world of, we call it the plant kingdom, right? We call it plant medicine, but we have this book in English too. Actually, we just got it in Brazil, which I'm really excited.
Wow.
It is the emotions connected with the essential oils. And here's the thing. So usually people will ask you for a solution because they have something physiologically happening, and you're able to give them a solution, right? You're able to give them relief. That was the situation with Chris. But then something interesting happens. Things start changing. And that's what has happened to most of the people that I have been able to serve in this way. And by the way, guys, if we cross paths and you don't leave smelling like a lot of essential oils, I didn't do my job. I did not accomplish my mission in this world. There's not one soul in my life that talks to me and do not get out of my face without tons of oils on them. And if you do this as a job, like Olivia and I and Chris, this is your dharma to do it. If you don't do it, you are denying something that is very important, because it might be somebody's solution that they have been looking for years. You know,
So
you might be somebody's prayer, like answer to somebody's prayers. I believe that truly, fully. And I do this every day. So when Chris started using the oils, was really cool because I got stuck in California, right? Me and my family. So there are 5 of us. And I called Olivia. And this is also the beauty of you getting in flow with what you're supposed to be doing in life. Things start showing up, like Dana here today. Olivia talked about that. Boom. Hi, Dana. Here you are.
I know. Isn't that funny?
And this was happening more and more and more and more. So then I called Olivia. I'm like, huh, she lives in California. Hey, Olivia, do you know a place that we can rent for this time until we figure things out? And remember, this was like March 2020 when things just had started getting a little crazy. Hawaii shut down, Brazil shut down, and we are now in California. Then she's like, well, just so happens we have like 40 Airbnbs that are probably not going to be occupied for a while. And yes, we happen to have one right in front of our house. So that's what happened. So then Chris and her were in the back house. We were in the front house. And every single time, and this is when the Olivia, she was so happy she actually had to go back home because she was at Berkeley,
Mm-hmm.
and she really didn't love being on campus, right? Can I say this?
Yeah, I hated it.
Okay. True story here, guys. She did not like being on that campus. So, oh, Chan, you're like,
Yeah, Chan is going
Chan!
for it. Thank you, Chan. All of your
Chan.
donations, Chan, go to Healing Hands. So we'll make sure that those Healing Hands donations go into your team.
that's fun.
It's all,
Make it rain.
all the
Make it
market
rain.
money.
Yeah. Thanks, Chan. Chan die.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh, in Vegas, I had so much fun with some of the boys at these places. It was really fun. Then I understood this. Then I was like, oh, that's why people do that. That's so fun. So that's funny. But so then every single time, Chris, we had something at the house that was a little bit off. We're little things, right? And remember, everything was shut down. So Chris had to do everything. So anything was wrong, I would just tell Chris to, hey, take a look at this. And every single time he would come in, I would plant a seed. Do you remember that, Chris? Every single time.
I know. I remember.
Every single time I'm like, plant a seed with Chris. And here's the thing. Chris has a very sharp mind. And this is what I really love about couples working together, is that the man usually is very connected to numbers. So if they see the numbers, it becomes more appealing to them. Women we're all like, oh, I would do this for free if I could. But hey, love doesn't pay bills, okay? That's another thing you say in Portuguese. Amor não paga as contas in Portuguese. Learn this sentence in Portuguese, okay, Olivia? It's good for the women that, oh, just do this just because, No, this is your work, you have to get paid. And this is something I had to work on. So Chris understood we can get paid for this. And every single time he would be like, really? I could see his face. Like this question mark of like, really? For real? So if you are doing doTERRA as a business, because there is a beautiful side of doTERRA as a business. If you have a husband, a partner that is open to learning what the possibilities are, show them the numbers. Show them the numbers.
Or tell
It
them
is
to call
important.
Yeah, or tell them to call Chris.
Yes. So Chris, this is my question. What made you kind of like, turn the key and be like, dude, this is the business of the future. I have to get on this. What made you turn that?
So I would say it's like for me it's purpose. So I've always wanted to have this like feeling of like helping other people, in some kind of way. And I've always thought about like charity events and like things that I can do. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it down the line when I'm ready. I don't know what it's gonna be, but that's what like I want to help people in some way, right? So then it really started for me back in May. This May was when I was like, I'm all in, right? I'm all in doTERRA. We went on the incentive trip to Mexico, and then doing like all the events and meeting all the people, and then realizing that doTERRA is more than just a company that sells oils. Like they are in it for like so many different things. Like they're so empowering for women and men. Like you can make money with doTERRA, which is amazing. But then on the other side of that, I really got to see like the healing hands part of it, really giving back to a community that I didn't even know existed, with kids that will never, I mean, hopefully they do get access to like education and medical equipment and all this kind of other stuff. But doTERRA was there and we were there to help them with building bicycles, and even something so small, going and giving these bicycles to these kids and seeing the change that you can impact in their life was just, it's amazing. And then the money is like the icing on the cake, right? Because there's no better feeling, in my opinion, than helping somebody. Like you were talking about earlier, like helping, like this oil could be the oil that changes somebody's life, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then they have it with them forever. Yeah. And that experience to me is priceless. And then, yeah, the numbers part of it, when I started hearing all the numbers and everything, I was like, oh, okay, like this is not only beneficial, like for helping other people, it's also been really beneficial for us. And then of course I started seeing a lot of changes and numbers, a lot of high numbers. I guess
I made sure that the direct deposit checks was an account that we shared.
That's another thing. But here's the thing, right? I told you that it's important to show men the numbers, and it is, because it might be the thing at that moment. Chris is an investor. He is an entrepreneur. He's a hard worker, and I knew that if he knew what doTERRA is all about, and that's what most people do not know, because here's what people know sometimes, and this is something that's my job, that's Olivia's job and Chris's job today, is to kind of debunk a lot of the BS that people talk. Oh, here comes the crazy oil lady. We see some advertisements that people tag me, like people making fun of the oil people. Oh, I have a pimple. I have an oil for that. I have a sore hair. I have an oil for that.
Sore hair.
And you know why? And here's the thing, guys. When you're truly passionate about something, when you really find the thing that you're passionate about, you become a little obsessed. And it might come off like you're kind of crazy right now, but it's not that. It is because we're so passionate about what we do that some people, especially women, we are a little anxious. So then we just want to show everything at once. And that is why we have the Wellness Week, which everybody is invited. It's a week of education free, and you get little bits and pieces of information for you to empower yourself in the uses of essential oils. And this is something hard for people that are so excited in the beginning and they just go like a crazy puppy and pee on everything, right? That's kind of like That's kind of like how crazy new little puppies are. But here's what we do and we keep doing. We keep educating our teams. This is our job. And we keep debunking a lot of this hatred around what we do, because it works, because it's gigantic. It's because there is a huge purpose behind it. And if you have the honor and the chance, which I know you will, if you do what we do, you will meet the owners of this incredible company and you will see the hearts of the people that run this business. Hey, by the way, I have like 3 mosquitoes that are going crazy on my back. Sorry if I look crazy like doing this. They love me. I need to get some lavender soon. So another thing, when you have a partner, men, women, whatever they are, when you have two people working together, obviously we know two is better than one, but when it's your partner, your life partner, it becomes so powerful, like beyond measure. What I have seen from women usually starting the business and then they bring their partners in, it's like poof, a whole new world opens. You double the time that you put in into making this dream come true for yourself, for other people. But then I'm going to go back to what Chris said, it's purpose. But obviously, Chris, it wasn't that in the very first moment. What made you stop and look was the fact that, yes, there is a business to this. And it is important. And I talked about it last time is you have to be a little selfish, not in a bad way. And here's a book that I will recommend for people to read. I love Anne Ryan or Anne Rand. I don't know how you guys say it in English, but she, Atlas Shrugged, The Fountainhead Anthem.
Uh-huh.
She's incredible, right? She also has a book that's called the virtue of selfishness. That's a good one. And here's the thing. Remember, you have to put your mask on first, then you can help others. And women usually, and I say it because I'm still working on this. We do this all the time, especially mothers. We just put everything in front of yourself before you take care of yourself. And you need to do the other way around. You have to take care of yourself for you to be able to take care of others. And even if you talk about people like Mother Teresa or Gandhi, they put their needs first. And that means like their needs, like what they wanted was to really truly help and serve people. And that was what was their driving force. And today we talk about, yes, there is purpose, but in the very beginning of you launching a business, you're going to meet some of your very specific needs in the very beginning. And then if you see the ranks in doTERRA, it kind of goes like that. Like I take care of my needs first, then I take care of my team's needs. Then all of this is done. Then you start, oh, I can think worldwide. Now I want to take care of this community. Now I want to take care of the world. Now, and then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the beauty of this process, that you have a tool that you're able to do this, right? And one last thing, Olivia, remember we talked about how you had such big purpose with everything that you have done, especially music, right? You had a music school.
Mm-hmm.
Do people know about this here? Have you talked about this before?
I talk about it pretty openly, but I don't know if everybody knows. Yeah, so I owned a music school when I was 22 and then sold it when I was 28.
Yeah, so how was that? Let's talk about the traditional business experience that you had.
So that's actually one of the later businesses that I had, but I started my first, I guess, unofficial business when I was 12, and I had an eBay business. So I sold things on the internet when I was 12, and back in the day, there was this thing called Yahoo Auctions. And my parents sold like wholesale clothing. So I would help them kind of move product through Yahoo Auctions and through eBay. And I basically learned how to like code and build these little websites to help them sell clothes on the internet. And that was when I was 12. And then I was always like really big into those like school fundraisers. So I always won a lot of those school fundraiser prizes. Girl Scout cookies, the whole shebang. And then eventually, I um, yeah, I've got that owning thing in my blood. So then when I was 22, I had a choice. I already left, let's say left UCLA when I was 18, and then I started teaching music instead, and I was teaching music, and then opened the school when I was 22. I started training people, a specific method that I developed, and so people were teaching in that same method. I was hiring people. At one point, I think I had about 30 employees. It was super fun. And then I kind of got tired because I was teaching for like 12 years. And then because I started teaching piano at a young age. And so I decided to sell it because my heart wasn't in it anymore. And when my heart isn't in something, I can't be true to it, and I just can't dedicate to it anymore. And that goes for a lot of different things that have kind of come and gone in my life. So oddly enough, although I'm strangely logical, I can also lose things very quickly when my heart is not in it. So I let it go. It just wasn't making any sense anymore. And shortly after that, I met you, Pam, and the rest is history. And
Wow.
every
But hang on, you're not telling the whole story because there's a part there that is very important. Then she opens this business and she has this grand idea to escalate it, right? We're talking about scalability. That's what, if you want to build a business that can touch and impact thousands, millions of lives, you have to scale it.
yeah,
And that was her goal. So then what happened when you tried to scale it, Olivia? You had an idea. So you started doing what? You had other professionals working out of the place?
yeah. So we had a small music academy. There were 3 rooms. We try to stretch it to 4 sometimes, try to do like some group lessons sometimes. But in order to scale, we had to have, a system. I had to train people, I had to teach people. There were so many different places and people that were in place to make it all work, and we worked as a team to make it all work because there's no way I could have possibly done it by myself. And so scaling has to do a lot with having a team, and I still say till this day I had the best team in the world in that realm. But now in
And
Terra, we're
and then what happened? What happened to some of the people that were closest to you? Do you remember what they did? They were judging you.
oh
They said
yeah.
you're running a pyramid scheme.
Oh, that's right. And so this is what happened. I opened a music school legitimately with paying rent. If any of you have ever tried to open a retail space or anything to do with like a traditional brick and mortar hole in the wall business, which is what I had. Okay, it's nothing crazy. But it's a lot of work. You have to figure out what location you're going to have. You have to figure out branding. And by the way, I designed all my logos. I designed all the material until I found an assistant, by the way, till this day, just like the best assistant ever. Jamie, shout out to what's up, Jamie? Hey, girl. Haven't talked to you in a while. Call me. Okay, so best assistant ever. But she was really great at graphics, and then I was like, and then I'm like a big believer in whoever's better at me at something, like you take over because I kind of suck at everything. So I was like, okay, perfect. You take over, and then like you have to put in a lot of work. But because I was 22, and because I dropped out of college, and because I just wasn't, I'm a rebel. I'm a disruptor, like I don't know if I've ever been one to be like, that's the rule, we're gonna follow the rule and make sure that it's gonna happen exactly the way that it should be because that's the rule. And I'm like, well, that's never worked out for me. If I ever did that, I'd probably be dead by now. That's what you have to do. Okay, I was emancipated there. So when that happens and you like have to take care of yourself for a long time, like that's just how you think. Like you have to figure out a way to survive and like get along. So I opened this business. I'm 22, and the closest people to me literally, um I don't know if they even remember this, but I obviously remember because I don't think I have PTSD anymore from that, but I did for like a long time. I got cornered physically and mentally, but literally physically, I got cornered. They were yelling in my face, telling me that I was stupid, that I shouldn't be doing this. One of them actually told me that I was running a pyramid scheme because I owned a business and I trained people so that they could also teach. And then I was paying them fair wages and like paying them money, and then they had assistance. So I was running a pyramid scheme apparently in their head. Um, Honestly, I don't even know if these people remember what they said at this time because now it's officially 10 years ago. Um, but that was pretty crazy. That was a crazy time. And it's so wild because usually when people like start businesses, it's a celebratory thing. And I didn't even have a grand opening because that business took off so quickly because I already had clientele. I didn't even have time to have a grand opening. It started off with like 60 students ready to go. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm stupid and a failure because I didn't choose to do what you wanted me to do.
Yes, and and I find that so kind of funny first, but then at
Hilarious.
the same time, it's kind of harsh because the people that are closest to you are usually the ones that will judge you the most when you start being different. And then being different usually means that you're looking for your own revolution as a human being, and it starts bothering them because then sometimes they feel like, oh man, I'm kind of being left behind. But instead of saying that and saying, hey, can you teach me how you're doing this because I want to grow with you, they go the other direction. They go, you're crazy, you're running a pyramid scheme. So, and first let's talk about first, what is a pyramid scheme. I had to learn because people have said that so many times to me, and I'm like, pyramid schemes, it's a fraudulent system of making money
Yeah.
based on, well, recruiting an ever increasing number of investors, and there is no product.
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
you invest just money, like money. There's no product.
Hmm.
That's considered a pyramid scheme. There is like a few programs that have I've been invited to, and I asked, I'm like, so you're asking me to invest at that time was $5,000 in this. I'm not gonna say the name, but in this group of women that, oh, then every single month a woman gets that lump sum of money. So every month somebody gets the lump sum. And I'm like, that makes no sense, right? Eventually somebody's not going to get anything. So then, in fact, they just got caught. And yes, it was what I told this good friend of mine. She put me in this, and because I'm kind, but there's a difference between being kind and nice, by the way. And I just learned about this a few months ago. And Olivia is always nice too. She's also very kind, and so is Chris. But Chris knows how to say no. Olivia and I are still learning. We have a hard time with that. But we've gotten so much better, right,
Yeah.
Olivia? We've
I've
gotten
got
much
I've
better.
gotten really good at this.
Yes, you don't have to be nice all the time. You be kind, but you don't have to be nice. And I'll give you an exercise of that I'm doing before you reply yes or no to something.
Mm.
You go to like a 0 to 10 scale, 10 being a super yes, I'm all about it, and 0 being no way, Jose. Then you just put your left hand on your heart and you breathe in and you ask that question, and then you give that number. If it's 7, 8, if it's 8, 9, 10, you go for it. If it's 7 and under, forget it. Don't do it. Just say no.
True.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And it's been working even for the oils, by the way. You can do that with essential oils too. Hey, feel like 0 to 10, that might not be the one.
Mm.
So then that's one thing. And here's one of the topics that we will be discussing and talking about for the next Sundays is objections. And women take objections really hard. We don't really love taking no's. And I've learned how to take no's right now. I look at it in a very different way. So every time, and I take no's every day, by the way. So I'm recruiting people every single day. People that I know have the profile that I'm looking for, kind of like Olivia's, and Chris. I'm looking for you. We're looking for you. We know that you're out there, and I meet them every single day. And the reason why I love recruiting today, and it used to be such a hard thing for me, is because if it wasn't presented to me, if I wasn't recruited, I wouldn't be here talking to you. We wouldn't be here being part of something that's much, much bigger than I thought that I could be part of, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I became a lot more lenient with the no's. So now when people say no to me, it's one, not yet. And it's also, it's just not their time. And this is how Olivia and I just started this Haps today was, I believe that the oils and doTERRA show up in your life when you're ready for it. Because if you're not ready for it, it's just not your time. Because there's a lot of growth that entails, right? And there's a lot of hardship too. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And it's hard, but it's so gratifying. And it's possible. If you really are willing to learn the steps and follow a system, if you're teachable, you absolutely can do it. That's it. Right? So the objections for women are much harder because, Chris, how many no's have you taken since you were like a young boy when you're asked women to go out or girls?
Taking so many no's.
And you guys kind of like, whatever, just another
Yeah,
no,
I
right?
can take all the no's. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no fear of rejection.
I
And
just-
and on my end too. I mean, I'm going to say was because I'm tired of it. I was in the entertainment industry, and that whole industry is full of no's. It's like a regular everyday occurrence. You feel like a loser every day. It's fantastic.
I was your manager. I got a lot of no's. I called a lot of places. I
You
guess
gotta have
that's
some
why
thick skin to be in entertainment for this long.
I found it
Either
challenging.
insane.
Yeah, and these are some of the things that we will be touching on, and I believe it is important, especially for women. You will take notes, and right now I look at the notes like, oh, it's just not her time or his time. They're not ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm not the one losing. I'm not the
No.
one losing. I have something very special to give to you
Mm-hmm.
every single time, and if you don't take it, it's just not your time. But
Yeah.
hey, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm here for the long haul. This is my infinite game. I
Yeah.
can see myself very old doing this for the rest of my life, right?
Yeah.
So then it comes to the objections, and that's something that we will be talking about in the next weeks. But just I understand now that there are only two types of objections. It's either, when you talk about network marketing in Brazil, we say relationship marketing because that's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's either because you have limiting beliefs about the system or the model, or you have limiting beliefs about yourself. So at the end, it really ends up being limiting beliefs about you, like you yourself as a person, whatever, what you have. And I've seen this over and over again. Remember, I'm here. I've been here for almost 10 years. Okay, I didn't start this yesterday. So over and over and over again, every single time, and somebody comes up to me and said, yeah, it wasn't for me, right? Talking about doTERRA, I'm like, why wasn't it for you? Oh no, because I just don't know how to sell, and it's just not my thing. Those are excuses. And
Oh,
every single time, Olivia, when you came across some of these objections for yourself, what did you do? You just went ahead and you're like, I'm going to learn this thing. How am I going to make this work? Every single time, right? That was for founder. That's what you did for
yeah.
founder.
Yeah, and then for all the times before, do you know how many things? I mean, Pam, I probably texted you all along the way because I kept you in the loop, right? I was like, I'm going to try this thing. Okay, now I'm going to try this. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try this thing now. Okay, let's brainstorm. And it takes so much like creative energy and like all these things because like doTERRA is going to teach you one way, and it's a tested and proven way for what has worked before. And, and if you go about that, it's great. But times change. People are different. You're targeting different age groups, different ethnicities, different areas, people with different things, and you have to like start thinking about, okay, well, that didn't work for that person clearly, and then you just kind of like hop along, and we have to keep on keep on going, because imagine if I went like in my first attempt, right? I got like no, whatever, didn't reach my goals, didn't do what I was supposed, or follow the thing, tried so hard, didn't reach my goals, and then just quit.
Yeah. Remember the baby strategy? Guys, all of you here, all of us, we tried about 10,000 times until we got up and walked. And the reason why we're able to do that and we walked is because fear does not take over before you start walking. Thank God. Because I think a lot of us would be in wheelchairs. So humans are perfectly made. So that when we talked about making this bridge now to the model of the business, there are a few things that, one, when you decide that you're going to do something, that's the first step, right? You're just going to do it. One. And then two, you're probably not going to come across an opportunity to become kind of like a shareholder in a multi-billion-dollar company. This doesn't come around very often. So if you are in doTERRA, please, 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 please go for founder. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're on my team or not. Like, what are you waiting for? Let's say that you try and it doesn't work. You grow, right? But let me tell you, how many spots do we have left, Olivia? 190?
Actually, I think it's 100 and yeah, it might be two more were announced. So yeah, 188 left.
All right, so 188 people that will be founders, which means that you have a percentage of this multi-billion-dollar company called doTERRA that will only grow. By the way, since the pandemic hit, our growth has been exponential, especially here in Brazil. And that will make the bridge to when Chris said purpose, right? Now, companies are really paying attention to, like, we have to shift business culture towards purpose. It's necessary and it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
For the longest time, forever, companies and people, we have operated with profit, profit, profit as our guiding line, right? And the consequences of that, we've seen it now. It's like, look at the world, look at our planet, right? This economic model of like take, make, waste, we can't do it anymore. So that's why what we call also relationship marketing, or we call it circular economy. Have you heard of that? Circular economy. And I find that brilliant, and it fits so well in what we do, which is it's renewable, it will regenerate itself, right? And it will be reusable. That's the model of looking at long term instead of just looking at profit and margins all of the time. And a lot of companies are switching to that. If they haven't, they're staying behind. Because for myself, and I know that for you guys is also true, I vote with my money. I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about where I put my money for it to grow. I will give my money to companies that I know are sustainable. They have good practices. They have this culture that I just mentioned, right? Of renewing and not wasting. And it is circular. It's truly circular. And this means that all the products and packaging, if you don't pay attention to this, are based on recycled materials. And that's what doTERRA has done for the past couple of years, because we have been asking them over and over, get rid of the plastic, get rid of the plastic. And they listen. And these are the companies that you should be looking for. So that's purpose, right? That's purpose. And it is important, one, sustainability, but also if you are going to get into business, how many people have lost their jobs because of this crazy pandemic? If you are going to look for a business to get involved in, please look at their sustainable, if they have sustainable practices, that's one. Look if they're going to grow in the next few years. And look to see if the people that are part of it are happy. That's a good way to measure if if this is a good business model or not. So the thing is, things are really moving really, really fast. And the status quo is not an option anymore. And doTERRA is like 10,000 steps ahead. It's really interesting how it goes. Every single time, doTERRA is a few steps ahead. So I'm going to make another bridge from the topics that we talked about. I talked about how it's hard to see men cry and how they were taught to suppress, right, feelings, and we were talking mental health. Olivia, you were there with me at convention. Do you remember when doTERRA came out with Adaptive?
Yeah.
Right? And they are working on this app that can measure on your voice, by your voice. You speak on the app and it tells you what's going on. Like, are you crazy? This is so incredible. You can speak to an app and it's going to tell me what to do.
It's the best app.
Oh my God.
It's the best
So,
app. They need to bring it back.
yes, they're refining it. They're refining it.
We still have
But
it on our phones.
yeah, but
But
they're refining it.
yeah.
So what I want you to look at is these companies, right? There are a few companies out there that have the same vision as doTERRA, but also it's kind of like I talked about it before too. Is usually when you talk about natural products, they don't perform as well as the not natural products that you used to use, like hair products, for example, right? People tell me that all the time, right? They say this all the time, oh, but that doesn't work as well because it's natural. And this is the beauty of doTERRA. They grab the best of nature and then the best of the technology that does not adulterate what nature is made of, like the integrity of that, and they make this technology so amazing for you to have results, not having to use the crap. That's what you want. So you want these companies. If you're going to get involved with a company, make sure you know that, right? Some people come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm selling this thing. I'm not going to say the product because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm being nice right now. and and I'm like, dude, that's the most polluting industry in the world. You're really going to do that? And I've sat with you and I've talked to you about purpose and business and something that is for the long term, and you come up to me to sell me that, and I'm not going to buy it. So no, so think about this the next time you're going to purchase something, next time you're going to get involved with something. Make sure you do your homework. Do your homework and make sure that you know that this company is going to give you the opportunity to become a shareholder of a multi-billion-dollar industry that is just good. It's on the rise. And by the way, doTERRA is a startup yet. Oh, startup. It's so crazy, right?
Isn't it so crazy to think about that doTERRA is a startup? And it's really young. It's not like some crazy corporate, I don't know. But
Yeah.
crazy.
Yes. So yeah, I think we've touched on a lot of topics today. So in the next weeks, we're gonna talk about objections. And I know that this is an important topic for women especially. And I'm gonna ask Chris to be on it too. Because men are so good about just taking objections in such a logical way. They're like, man, no, just that makes no sense. Where women are like, oh, my heart, which is
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh, we just had a conversation about this like on our way home today. It was so funny. And I was like, wow, see? This is the benefit. I was just such a reject and I was bullied for so many years of my life that rejection doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even care. I don't care. That's the result of being bullied and rejected most of your life. You just don't care.
That's why your empathy is low.
That's why my empathy is low. Sorry, everyone.
So I know that we could talk about it for our president, but we will keep bringing these topics up. And then if you have something that you want us to talk about, if you are in the doTERRA business, if you are a customer, we are happy to bring it to our convos here.
Yeah.
But one thing that I'm going to ask is, if you have women in your life, especially women, we know we love the men, and I want to bring more of this male influence to our team. Encourage them to dare to live their best lives. For so long, we have been discouraged to doing it. So, and I want to ask you to have courage. And I read this quote. His name is Ernest Hemingway.
Uh-huh.
Said, courage is grace under pressure. So have courage. because I had to learn how to be courageous, and I want to ask all of you to be courageous and stand up for what you believe in, that you know is good for the whole, not just for yourself. So have courage to stand up for what you know. And active sponsor, Ella. Oh, she's a sponsor. Thank you, Ella.
She
I'm
is.
a,
Thank you.
I'm, a, I'm an oddball outcast vampire bat. We're with you, sis.
Yes. So are we.
Yes. So, Chris, one last thing that I want you to share about your trip to the incentive trip. What was that experience like?
Oh my god. Okay, it was amazing. I had a blast. So we arrived in Mexico, and it started off a little rocky because somehow we got on the flight from LAX and had a layover in New Mexico, and then or not New Mexico, sorry, in Mexico City. So we got to Mexico City, and then somehow they didn't let us to get our connecting flight because they said Olivia didn't board the plane ever, and I'm like, she's right here. So it started off pretty like bad, and then we got there like in a bad mood. It was like a 2 hour
Yeah,
trip to get,
it
or like an
was
hour trip,
tough.
a little over an hour to get to the hotel. But then we get there, and then I'm expecting like, honestly, I don't even know what I was expecting.
Well, it was a free trip.
Yeah,
So,
it was a free trip.
and I think I've won free trips before,
Yeah.
and usually it's like you win the free trip, you get there and they ignore you the whole time. That's usually how a free trip goes. Like they try to like sell you a timeshare, right?
And then we get there, and then we walk in the room. Well, first off, everybody's really nice. They're like, "Oh my god, Olivia,
Yeah.
this and that. Who are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm the husband. Hey!" And then they're like, "Oh, I'll give you a hug." Right? See everybody. Everybody's really nice. Honestly, everybody feels like family, even though I've never met these people.
Yeah.
I've never even seen their videos.
Nice.
Anything. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
We get to the room, and then there's like huge balloon and like all these bags of like goods and sandals and like
gifts.
towels and gifts. And I'm like, "Oh, are we keeping this? We have to return it? Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
and then it was for us to keep. The rooms were really nice too.
Yeah, it was great. It was at the Grand Hyatt.
Yeah, everything was included. Also, it wasn't an all-inclusive hotel, but doTERRA
turned it into,
got us these bracelets, and everything was free. All the food was free.
It was amazing.
And then we get to meet everybody in the company, right? We got to meet like Emily. We got to meet everyone. And we made like such great connections with everyone that we met. And we still talk to them. We text message all the time. We still talk about convention now that's coming up in September 7th. And we're all looking forward to that. But everybody felt like family. And then there was also games. All right, I'm big on games. I'm really competitive. So I had all these competitions. And I'm like, I got this. Like, they don't even know. They're in for a treat.
Yeah.
And I got whooped at everything. Everything. And then I was like, I need a team. We need a team of people. We need like, these sandcastles can't be mediocre anymore because these people are serious.
Yeah,
like,
we didn't know.
No joke. Volleyball, water polo, everything we played, every competition. Dancing, oh my god. Remember, it was us three dancing on stage? Or me and you dancing and Olivia singing? Are you kidding me? I was so embarrassing. But it was so much fun. Oh my god. I was like booty dancing. I didn't even know what to do. There was a lip syncing competition.
You know, because of that fantastic dancing you did, everyone in the company thinks that you're really great at public speaking and being on stage.
No.
I'm not kidding. Because you did all that booty dancing.
I can't even believe I did all that.
Hilarious.
I don't even know what I did. I was just doing I was just trying to be funny because Olivia was like lip singing, and then I'm like, Pam, what do we do?
Sing-singing.
We're just gonna be like, oh yeah, singing, and then we're like, we're just dance, and I didn't want to just be back there, just like, hey, whatever, I don't know. So I was just.
No, he was not dancing like that. He was like, whoa, brother. I was like, whoa, Chris. It was
his inner Cubano was coming out.
No alcohol either, okay?
Yeah, no.
I didn't drink a single thing.
Yeah.
I was just these vitamins got me going.
Yeah. There's another thing that makes us really fit in is that we don't drink at all. So
it was
natural high.
It was so much fun.
Oil high.
And we got to meet founders of the company, you know, we got to meet like people who are like really high ranking in the company, and everybody's super
down
nice.
To earth.
Like you would never even think that, like, it's not even a thing. You're just people just getting along and helping each other. Everybody's talking about business. And
family, everything is just, we're talking about everything and openly, you know, it's not like don't know. Sometimes when you interact with people and it's like,
Weird.
this is a secret. You should know this, or like this is. No, it was just like open conversations, just being real with each other, because that's how this business goes. You have to be. You have to be real. You have to be down to earth. You have to be like, vulnerable in some sense in order for this to work, because it's relationship marketing.
Yes. And then Chris was like, "What? This is work? I want this for the rest of
Yeah.
my life."
It was a work trip.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Now,
work.
let's throw in some reality. Do we do that all the time? No.
No.
Okay. It's once a year, but is it important? Absolutely. You work hard, you go hard, and then you have time to kind of balance it out again. And that's something that I've always honored in my life, in my career. I'm not the fastest to hit ranks and do things that measure your growth, but I've always been consistent and I've grown every single year. My team has grown every single year, and I never jeopardized my balance. And that is something to say, like, as a mother of three, right? And traveling the world and working with so many countries. So it is possible. And this is what we're going to keep doing. We're just going to keep bringing this possibility option to the people that are looking for it. Then Chris was like, I love this. Can we do this every year? Absolutely. You get free things by doing your job.
Yeah.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm like telling everyone I see, I'm like, we're going to Jamaica, right? Like, we got to go. Come on, let's go. We're going. I'm like motivating. I'm like the hype man.
Yeah.
Hey, and we have to tell the Latina. So here's the thing: if you were at the DoTerra trip, is anybody here is in DoTerra? Went to DoTerra incentive trip? We have the Christina Badel and Alicia and all of the crazy, amazing Latinas. They are so prepared. So they had a full-on choreography, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to wing this thing." So, hey, wait for us. Jamaica.
We
We're
were
gonna
the
have
first
choreography.
ones on stage
Thank
doing the lip
goodness.
singing thing. And yeah, I'm glad it was, because had they went first, I would have been like, I'm not going.
Yeah, we'd have been like, we quit, we forfeit.
Yeah, like, no, I'm not doing this. But just so you guys know, you can make it to Jamaica for free by doing your job. That's just the way it
That's
is.
how we won the Mexico trip.
And Ella, we'll make sure that Olivia posts the video of Chris dancing. You can be.
No. I don't think it can be found. Nobody got videos of that.
Oh, I have it.
Uh-oh,
No,
I have it.
I bet somebody in
Yes,
somebody
it-
in the audience, somebody was
Yes, it-
recording. There was a lot of people there. I can't believe I was. Oh, my
That's
goodness.
so funny.
So
This girl has it. So
Chan, you gotta come. Chan,
yes,
Chan's gonna come. We need Chan.
yes.
Chances of coming are higher than us.
Yeah, they are.
So we shall see. Chris can go viral.
No, I won't. Go
Now,
viral.
guys, to close, this is the last topic, and I believe it's an important one. When we talk about the purpose and connecting healing hands with everything that we do, because what happens through healing hands is a lot of the co-impact sourcing projects, which is dealing fairly, ethically with the suppliers, right? Protecting the environment with the sustainable practices across the board. How important it is for us to support a humanitarian cause. And we can talk about a little bit about doTERRA, right? It's to engage in good. And if only 50% of the world would do this, we would have a very different world. Yeah. So to end, Olivia, what's your message for your people?
Well, this month we started what I'm calling the founders weekend, just because it landed on the weekend this month. I'm trying to think of a name for it, but we started it, and we've been doing these one-on-one founders calls, and it's been really inspiring to just kind of see where everyone's head is at, and just to kind of get things going, figure out a plan and a trajectory. And I think the message is that no matter what the outcome is going to be, so long as we continue to work towards our goals, you always win. You always win. Like in your circle, in your heart, in your brain, you'll always have 1,000 points. If you're going for something, if you planned for something and you go for it, you win every single time. You never lose. So I think that's my message.
Cool. Yes, you always win. There is no losing here.
No.
Hey, Chris, message for your bros.
For my bros, for all the bros that are out there, don't be afraid to get into these oils, because I know it might not seem manly. They can be very manly if that's what you're looking for.
A lot of them smell really manly.
But they're nice, and they can help you, and you can help people change. Like, you can change people's lives, and that right there is priceless. And then while you're doing that, we can be friends, and then also you can make some money, which is what I like the most. Or, I shouldn't say the most, but I really like it a lot.
That's the fun part. It's not like we really needed that wasn't our reason for doing doTERRA. It wasn't the money need, because I think we're pretty chill in that department. But the money is such a huge plus, and it was just amazing to be able to see that it works. I didn't know that, and it was like, oh my gosh, this is a real thing. This compensation plan is a real compensation plan.
Right.
And if you want to talk numbers and you want to discuss like how the business works, or if you have any issues with understanding anything, message us.
Yeah.
Or message me directly, and I will help you. For my bros out there, I'll help you understand. And then we can
only serious inquiries, please. Only serious. If your people are serious about it, then you message him. If you're just,
my empathy is really low, so I'm like,
if he senses that you're not serious and you're just kind of like messing with us or whatever, he will literally just cut you off.
Yeah, only serious inquiries. And his empathy is not low. Okay, Chris will be the first one to give you his shirt.
That's true.
That's why when I saw empathy as my last one, when I did the Gallup's test, I was just like, that's not true. I was like almost offended, but I was like, oh, but I think it's true.
But what it means is that you will do that for people who you think deserve it.
Yes.
You're not going to do that for some random person that just punched me in the face for no reason.
No, and Chris doesn't like victims, and that's something in common between all of us. Like, don't be a victim.
Yeah, no.
You are the main star of your movie life, so don't just be a sidekick. And this might be my last message to everybody: don't be the sidekick, guys. Go be Batman. Don't be Robin.
Robin's cool too, but no.
But here's one sentence that I like, and I'm gonna read it because it's right here. It's on my computer. Dare to dream, dare to try, dare to fail, dare to succeed. And I like that. And I look at this every single day. Okay, Olivia, thank you so much. So Olivia,
thank you, Pam. Thank you, Booty.
Hey, I'll see you guys on the 7th. Oh, by the way, you guys are walking diamond. Oh, my mind is blown. You're walking diamond. Paula's walking diamond. Susanna's walking diamond. Whoop, whoop. These are my first diamonds in my team, guys. This is huge. This is huge. Like, founders, it's so like I said, not the fastest, but it's that story, like the turtle and the rabbit, like, I'm the turtle, but I'll get there. I already got there.
I think you're a rabbit.
So awesome. Yes, it's like gonna be like diamond popcorn, like boop, 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 a bunch of diamonds coming up. We have another diamond coming up in Brazil in the next month. And she's a founder too.
Can't wait. Yes. Can't wait for this person to go diamond. I think I know who you're talking about.
I've given you guys the vision. Remember, I said an army of powerful, joyful, wonderful, grateful, generous, 7-figure women earners.
Yep. There's at least one person that's watching our Instagram too that's going diamond. We just planned for her diamond thing today. So diamond popcorn.
I like the diamond popcorn, guys.
Yes.
Chan, you're next. Let's
Yep.
work on it, boy.
Chan is going diamond too.
Yes. You're all diamonds. Okay, loves. Thank you so much. I could talk for hours here with Chris and Olivia, but we're gonna save for every week, okay?
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. See you all
See
next
ya.
week,
Take
8
care.
p.m. ish.
Bye, everybody.
Here and all the platforms.
Bring your bros. I'll be here.